Go and tell John what you have seen and what you have heard. This past Sunday morning at our Religious Ed Faith Formation program, we had the little ones make Christmas cards to be given out to family members, to the homebound. And so between Masses, I made sure I made my way down to the parish hall to kind of be a part of all of this. When I arrived, they were already hard at work, table after table after table of moms, dads, and kids working together, making Christmas cards. And I was just going to walk around to every table and just say, hey, how you doing? So it was all very interesting. It ended up being more interesting, however, than I thought. Because by the time I got down there, they were already hard at work. But I noticed something that I didn't expect. Before any of the little ones, and we're talking first, second graders, wrote anything on the card, Merry Christmas, Blessed Christmas, whatever it might have been, they would look at their mom or their dad to see if, do you think this is okay to do? And the parent would say, what do you want to say? I want to say this. Okay, that's good. And they would do it. And then they had to pick out the stickers that they were going to put on the cards. Snowflakes, little nativity scenes, snowmen, Christmas trees. And they would look, and they would look at the parent, and they would look again, and then finally they would decide, and there was constant communication going on between the kids and their parents. There was constant communication. There was a power in the room that morning that I didn't expect to walk in on. A power touched by the power of love. Love that was seen in their communications. In a very real way, it's power that you and I are invited to look at this day. That very first reading from the prophet Isaiah. A little reminder to us that I am the Lord. There is no other. I form the light. I create the darkness. I make well-being. Justice descends. A reminder to us of God's divine power. A power that's always at work. A power that in a very real way, my friends, is there for the taking, because that divine power can be seen in the grace that is constantly being poured upon us. He's always there. We know that to be true in a way that the people of Isaiah's time didn't, because of Jesus, who told us quite clearly that his power is always at work. I've always truly appreciated the way that Jesus communicates. Very often, he doesn't directly answer a question. We see that all the time in Scripture. He doesn't exactly answer the question that's asked, because he's always leading them, because of them, us, somewhere else. John is sitting in prison. He got into a bit of trouble at the party. He spoke to the king and the lady he was with, and then the daughter with the dance, and you know the story. He got in trouble and he's sitting in prison. And he knows he's going to die. And he has a question. Is it you, Jesus? Are you the one? I may not see this through to the end. Is it you? John's disciples go to Jesus. And how does Jesus answer? He doesn't say, yes, John, it's me. He says, go back and tell my cousin what you see. The blind can see, the lame can walk, lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear. Tell him what you see. You see the constant communication that comes through me from my Father. You see divine power at work. Tell him what you see. Tell him what you hear. And tell him to hope in that happening for him right now. My friends, during this Advent season, a season of hope, A season in which our spirits are meant to be lifted with the realization that that constant communication between us and God is still happening because of Jesus. A reminder to us that the divine power that Isaiah spoke of, the divine power that we see in Jesus reaching out to the poor, the needy, the brokenhearted, still happens. My friends, the season of Advent, as we ready for the great days of Christmas, stands to remind us that no matter what we're facing, no matter what might be going on in our lives, He is always there. The world is filled with that divine power, that constant communication of love that is there for us, that He invites us not to miss, especially when we do find ourselves, and we do sometimes, standing in the midst of the chaos of our everyday lives. We don't stand there alone. He is always there, sending us what we need in the moment. As we ready for the great season of Christmas, we're reminded that because of the season of Advent, lifting our spirits, when we allow our prayer to do the same for us, we can live joyous lives all the time. All we need do is remember that His power, His love is always there.